Green Earth Volunteers is one of the 3 earliest NGOs in China, and we call ourselves NGO of journalists that advocates environmental protection and civil society. We have 4 major areas of interest, including climate change, river protection, corporate environmental governance, and the low-carbon society.
Can you give me a feel for the sort of state of environmental journalism in China? Is environmental journalism thriving?
I think it's well alive, and it's developing very quickly, actually, compared with many other countries.
Do environmental journalists in China have reasonable freedom to operate?
Yes, I think so. So far as environmental protection is concerned, we have full freedom to report about what we see, what we would like the public to know.
For journalists in China, do you feel like there is enough knowledge of the actual science of climate change? Is that an issue for you?
I think it's an issue for me, yes, and as well as for many other journalists, because climate change is just more than emission. It has many different dimensions, and so far we have not been able to understand them all.
How prominent is climate change as an issue in China, both amongst kind of politicians and decision makers, but also the public?
Okay, I think climate change has become a really hot issue in China from the government, media, and the public side. The government has organized a committee consisting of more than 20 departments, and all important departments within the government. And the media have been receiving frequent training on how to report climate change properly. And the public is also very aware of the climate change.
What do you see as the real headline issues in climate change in China?
I think water is the area that is most seriously impacted by climate change. And there is a saying, it might be some exaggeration in it, but people just like to say that every river is dry, every water is polluted. So water pollution and a water shortage is a very serious problem. And I also think that it's a common issue we are facing all over the world.
What are they suggesting as the solution to this problem in China?
When we are planning construction projects, we need to take into consideration of the sensitiveness of the water to climate change. So that should be integrated into the planning system.
So that's one of the big risks in China. What do you see as some of the opportunities that climate change poses for China?
In the city development, because China has planned to develop many big cities. And I think when climate change is concerned, actually you have to consider more about the limitation. People have been very well aware of the limited resources. So from the government level, they have made plans to promote, the low carbon development policy, and I think it will be integrated into and become a very important part of the so-called 12th five-year plan in China.
Do you see climate change as essentially an environmental issue in China, or do you see it as a development issue?
I think it's an environmental issue and as well as a development issue. On the development side, I would say that climate change has played a very important role in promoting the civil society development in China. Actually, climate change has promoted the proactive communication between government, media, and the public, because the participation of NGOs in environmental protection is very much encouraged by the government.
What is your vision for China in 20 years, given that climate change is happening? Are you optimistic, or are you concerned?
I'm optimistic and concerned at the same time. I think if climate change is properly dealt with, that we do a lot of risk management research and planning, then I think the future will be bright. But if we ignore the importance of taking climate change impact into consideration, especially in planning construction projects, and also in the possible adaptation areas, then it will be very risky.
Thank you very much, Edith. It's been very nice talking to you.
Thank you.